Do you see us yet, Michael?
I can see, yeah, you're now watching a live video. Yep, I'm trying to get it so I can share it.
Do you see us yet, Michael?
I don't see
I can
us.
see, yeah, you're now watching a live video. Yep, I'm trying to get it so I can share it.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
I can see the your
Yeah, banner. Yeah.
yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Dr. Barbara Swinney. I know you just saw that banner up there. If you have not registered for the free live webinar, Leading Yourself Like an Organization, you need to go over to the deeperleaderinstitute.org and register. We're going to be meeting. We're having the webinar next Thursday at 7 p.m. Go to my website, thedeeperleaderinstitute.org, and register today. Let me just put that back up there for you so you'll know. Next week, next Thursday, 7/21, July 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern, go to thedeeperleaderinstitute.org and register today. Listen, I've got a question for you guys. Have you ever found yourself stuck? Have you ever come to the end of yourself where your looks, talents, and skills have taken you as far as you can go? Well, I've got an answer for you. You're not stuck. You are on assignment. And that assignment is you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, how to break through and lead for the results you want in every area of your life. I'm so excited to talk to Coach Mikka. We're going to hear more about her and her story right after this ad from our sponsors. All right, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Barbara Swinney, your life and holistic leadership coach and coach trainer. I'm the founder and CEO of the Deeper Leader Institute for Personal and Professional Development, and accredited coaching certification institute where true leadership starts with self-leadership. In 2018, I founded the Deeper Women Lead Global, a platform established for women in leadership to share their stories of life, love, and leadership. And I am super excited that our guest is sharing the stage with us this morning, Ms. Mikka Abbington. Mikka is a fertility coach, author, speaker, wife, mother of Diva and the Dude. Welcome to the stage to Ms. Mikka Abbington. Mikka, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. I just want you to take just a minute to give us a sneak peek. Let us come behind the curtain of Coach Mikka. Who is Coach Mikka?
Ooh, who is Coach Mikka? First, thank you for having me. Coach Mikka is all the things that you just mentioned: a mother, a wife, mother of two beautiful twins, I might add. By trade, I am an IT professional, a Scrum Master, and have practiced in that space for 15 years. Took that path because I just figured IT would be around forever. So when the world goes to crap and people are looking for jobs, you're always going to need an IT, because if it's run by robots, we can program them, right? Wasn't my passion. I was chasing money. Got some years on me, a little bit of experience, and realized that although it is supplying my financial needs, it is not feeding my purpose. And so as of late, I've had this idea of I want to coach, and specifically fertility, because of my own personal experience in the infertility space. And I caught myself or found myself randomly coaching people, even though that's not what I knew it to be at the time. Anybody who was struggling with infertility, I was like, okay, maybe I can share my experience with you. And then that birthed this baby, if you will. And so I was like, you know what? It feeds my purpose. I feel good. I'm helping others when I do it. And so now I am focusing on that goal, or I'm walking in that space now.
I love it. I love it because that's what most of us do. We get in these professions and we're really good at what we do, but then we realize that it's not fulfilling. And what I've learned is after about 3 or 4 years in a leadership role or in your career, you've really exhausted all of the stuff that you don't know. So if you know everything after 3 or 4 years, where do you go from there? And that's why this whole platform, the Deeper platform, is so important, because you have to stop looking up and looking out, trying to get these promotions and all of that, and start going deeper and looking within. That's why I started this program, started the Deeper Leader Institute for Personal and Professional Development, because I realized the two were so interconnected that if you really can't do one without the other. They're one and the same. So, Michael, when you came, I offered the 6-week group coaching and accountability class. We had our last session in the spring. We're getting ready for another one coming up in August. When you registered for the Deeper Women Lead Coaching and Accountability program, where were you? What were you thinking?
I was thinking that I had an idea, and I didn't really know how I was going to go about executing the idea. And if I'm being completely transparent, I wasn't sure if I was going to continue with the idea, right? It was just an idea. There was some fear around moving into that space. So I would say I was sitting in a place of fear, because what seemed logical was to stay where I was and stay stuck.
Yes.
And it was illogical to look outside of that, right? Because my IT profession, this is stable. You already got money coming in, and you want to go do this thing,
right?
That's uncertain, and you don't know where you're getting the clients from. Yeah, no. So I would say that's kind of where I was, teetering between the two spaces. But then I was like, let's just go see what Dr. Barbara's talking about. Let's say.
I love it. And there's a reason why you're called a fertility coach. You know, we lead from the space that we've healed from. And our lives are basically the professional development for the thing that we're supposed to be doing. And I can't wait to hear more about your story of fertility or infertility, and how you're helping women overcome that. When you were in the program, Micah, you said you came, you had this idea, you wanted to do a thing, but you kind of didn't know where to start. And honestly, you know, we talk about in the program, we talk about the terror barrier, and you were at that wall and you were thinking about turning back. What was a turning point for you?
What was a turning point for me? So I think that when we talked about the terror barrier, I think that was like, I don't know. I don't want to give away the details because you got to go to the class to get the tea.
That's right.
But we were further in the class, and just understanding what those steps were and the work that we had done up to that point. And then I think it was just in my mind, I had made the idea more complex than it really was. And so when you kind of helped walk us through, well, here are the steps, right? Like really what this is just this. And it was like, oh, so I'm over here like my life's purpose is this big abstract painting. And in reality, no, it's a dot on a page that connects to another dot on the page, right? It's like a color by numbers or connect the dots versus this Van Gogh.
Absolutely.
And so I think that for me was the turning point when you I forget what the comment was, but I had an aha moment because it was like, it really is that simple. Just take a step.
Yes.
I was thinking as opposed to stepping.
Yes. And I remember when we were introducing ourselves and you ladies were introducing yourselves to each other, you said, I want to be a coach. And I said, let's correct that language now from the top and say, I am, because you already are the thing that you're aspiring to be. It's really just unpacking all of the stuff, all the IT stuff that you had packed on top of it.
That's
So
it. And I will say that from that moment on, I introduced myself as a coach, not aspiring. I actually
absolutely.
called Michelle, my sister,
Uh-huh.
following that session, like, oh, and by the way, I am a
That's right.
fertility coach. Yes,
That's
we're
right.
doing that. So
Right. And who made you that? I did. I called myself that.
yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, Micah, what's different now? When you started, you had this idea, you wanted to do something, and you really didn't know where to start. There were some things that needed to be unlocked inside of you. What's different now?
I would say the difference now. So I would, again, working and walking in fear before and
Mm-hmm.
really being paralyzed in that fear, right? And not even understanding probably where the fear came from.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the process, I could identify it. I know what it looks like. I know what the trigger is, right? And so when I am sitting in that space or I feel like, oh, here it comes, I can sit with it, acknowledge it, and move past it. Whereas before I was paralyzed and going in circles. Now it's like, okay, I know what this is. Let's take the next step. Right. This is just a feeling that my body is feeling for all the reasons I've told myself.
Yes.
Nobody else said it. I said it. Right. And so it's getting outside of my own head and taking that next step to move past the fear. I would say that's the difference. There's action
Mm-hmm.
this as here versus there was inaction there. It's just thinking and talking through it to myself and probably everybody around me who's like, okay, you said this before when we doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And now it's okay. I'm doing something. Like, girl, go to my website,
That's right.
schedule some time. I got you.
I love it. So, Michael, you are talking a lot about the deep work that we do, that internal work that we do, that internal transformation that you have to get. Before you can see a thing outside of yourself, you must first reconcile it inside. But tell the people, Micah, tell them the tangible things that have occurred since attending the program.
Okay, sure. So the tangible things that have occurred since attending the program, I completed my coaching courses. So I legitimately finished them last week. So I will be certified shortly as a life coach.
Yeah.
I have set up my website, micahrenee.com. That's my fertility coaching site. And then I currently have 2 clients that I'm working with that I'm actually coaching through a life transition. So although I'm a fertility coach, I also do life coaching. And so these are my life coaching clients that I have 2 currently under my.
That is amazing. I've got to tell the people that Micah is the first interview because Micah was killing it in class. Micah showed up every week, having done her homework, keeping us on track in the middle of it, sending text messages and emails, encouraging the other ladies in the class. There's nothing more rewarding, and I'm sure you're finding this out, Micah, in your coaching business. There's nothing more rewarding than a client doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
How important was it for you, Micah, to do the work as you went through the process?
Well, for me, I knew that doing the work was going to determine the outcome, right? And so I equate it to folks that want to lose weight because I'm one of them people on that list,
Yes.
right? And you're saying it and you're like, yep, I want to be down 20 pounds or whatever the pounds are. And then you go to the gym and you walk for 5 minutes and you're like, okay, well, that was enough.
Right.
And then you don't see results. And so I equate it to that. I knew that I had to come and be all in.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I wasn't all in, I wasn't going to get the results I wanted to get. So it's one thing for you to provide the insight, but I have to carry out the action.
Awesome.
And I knew that.
And getting clear, as you talk about the behaviors that you have to have in place, we go a lot kind of into detail about clarity of vision. How important was it to you to get clear about the thing that you really wanted?
I think that was real important because what I realized is when I came into the space, I was all over the place. Like my vision was, I'm gonna coach this and that and those, and there's gonna be a t-shirt company. We were doing 50 things, right? There was no vision. If I'm being honest, there was no vision. But in my mind, there was a vision. It was just all of these things.
Right.
And so working through that with you, it was like, you need to get crystal clear on the vision. But in order to do that, I had to get clear about who I was.
Yes.
Right. And so that let me know that you're all over the place because you're clueless about who you are. So
yes.
Once you figure that out, we can get focused.
Absolutely. And that place that you're working from, because sometimes we want a thing and we want a lot of things, but a lot of times we're wanting it from the wrong place.
Mhm.
And all of those ideas that you had and have, it doesn't mean that they're not supposed to happen. There's just a certain order that they're supposed to happen.
Correct.
And you can get a bigger bang for your buck when you're focused on one thing and then let all of the other things flow from that, because they're all related. It's just when you get clear, you get creative, and we start wanting to follow every idea. So I'm so excited for the progress that you've made. You mentioned that you are becoming a life coach, a certified life coach, and every coach needs a coach. If you have a coach who does not have a coach, you need another coach. How important, Micah, is coaching, or has coaching been to your process, to your evolution?
I would say it was coaching is the reason that the evolution occurred. Right. So for me, it was detrimental to my process. Had I not had you and had that experience, Micah and Renee would not be happening. The clients that I'm working with would not be here in this moment, right? Because I was stuck, that accountability, that cheerleader, if you will, like I needed that.
Yeah.
And so I had been talking to myself for so long, I needed to talk to somebody who was going to call me on the carpet. Like, okay, so last week you had homework.
Cool.
What'd you do with that? Right. And versus me saying, oh, I'm going to do it, I'll get to it. Nope. I knew every week I was going to see Dr. Barbara, and we had answers that we had to give. Right. So it was detrimental to what I call my success. I've got some climbing to do, but the fact that I have kicked off, that is the progress that I celebrate. And I don't believe it would have been possible had I not had a coach.
I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited for what's to come for you. The whole essence of Deeper Women Lead is to help women transform and become empowered so they can go for the thing they want. We said in the green room, we said, this is the season to get the thing that you want. We're breaking the fear habit and we're going after it, because the world really is waiting on us. And if we are just like a Steve Jobs or TD Jakes or any of the people that we watch on TV, we're no different from those people. And our ideas are just as powerful and impactful as theirs. So you came in here with an idea, and I'm so excited that you followed that through. And now we've got fertility coach Mikka Abbington. Also, you want to tell them a little bit about Diva and the Dude and what they have going on?
Sure. So in addition to my fertility coaching, because again, my story started in infertility, and then my little miracle babies were born, and we refer to them as Diva and the Dude. Diva is my daughter, Dude is my son. But we currently have children's books that we're working on to kind of talk through their journey. Both of them are hard of hearing and have been in schools with other children with special needs. And so we promote what we call the abilities, because we don't look at them as disabilities. So they have t-shirt line, and we are getting some books written to just kind of for parents and children to just learn more about children with abilities, and for children with abilities to feel empowered. So that's what Diva and the Dude is all about.
So powerful, so powerful. Now, Micah, I know that you're still in the process of writing these books. Do you have a timeline?
So the goal is, I have 2 books written. The goal is to have an additional 4 written by the end of the year so that we can kind of release them as a series. So that is the goal.
Amazing, amazing, amazing fertility coach, Mikka Abbington. Thank you so much, Micah, for sharing this time with us this morning. This few minutes that you've taken out of your schedule is extremely important to our platform. One last thing. What from the program, or what is there a nugget that you can share with the women about how to start their transformation, how to get in action and really start leading for the results that they want, not just in their professional lives, but in their personal lives as well?
So can I give 2 nuggets?
Yes, you can
Okay.
get 2 nuggets.
So the first nugget, for me, it was get a coach.
Yeah, coach.
Period. That's the nugget. That's the golden ticket, whatever we want to call it. But then the second thing is you have to be clear about who you are. That is the key. Once you get clear about who you are, everything else falls into place. You're not chasing all of these ideas and trying, I got to get the money, I got to chase the bag, I got to get the dude, or whatever the thing is. You're not chasing it. You are open to what is meant for you because you're clear about who you are.
Absolutely. I love it. So the first step in the deeper framework is decide what you want. And deciding what you want is about clarity of purpose, identity, and vision. You get those three things lined up, I promise you, your life will never be the same. Micah, where can these people find you? Where can they go if they wanted to go on social media or your website? Where do you want them to go?
So you can find me at website www.mikkarenee.com. That's my fertility coaching website. And you can schedule time with me for a free introductory consultation. You do not need to be struggling with infertility to have a conversation with me because I am all about the fertility of all the possibilities. So that's where you can reach me on my website. You can also reach me at Mikka Renee on Facebook and Instagram, MIKKARENEE. That's on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and Diva and the Dude. Our website is under construction, but divaandthedude.com is where you can find Diva and the Dude's empowering merchandise. So you can still shop there, but just give us some grace because what we wanted to do was get started. We didn't want the cosmetics to be the reason we don't step out.
That's right. That's right. You just got to go. You just got to go. Well, thank you so much, Micah, for sharing this time with us this morning. Listen, if you have not registered for the free webinar, Learning to Lead Yourself Like an Organization. Listen, Dr. Sweeney has learned a few things about leadership and how to apply those same leadership skills from your organization to your life. Go to thedeeperleaderinstitute.org and register for the free live webinar. It'll be me and only me presenting the webinar on next Thursday, July 21st at 7:00 p.m. Eastern. Also, we have coming up this program that Micah went through. We'll be offering that program again beginning August 18th. You can also register for that on the website at thedeeperleaderinstitute.org. That's where you can find the free live webinar. And with that, Micah, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Thank you so much for joining us.